My name is Mark Justin Ford and I'm a receptionist and an IHG Apprentice. My role as receptionist involves me checking in and checking out, working a variety of different hours, dealing with guest queries. I'm also an IHG Apprentice, which means I'm a potential manager in the future, and as such the company has funded training for me over an 18-month period, of which I've only just recently graduated. When I was at school I had dyslexia. I find things difficult to read or different to interpret. The way that I have found to manage my dyslexia is being open and honest with people who are around me, be it my colleagues, my managers, just having the honesty to go up to them and say, can they reword that, can they present it to me a different way. Luckily I was managed to have one-to-one teaching. Mainly the skills that I excelled in was design and technology, working in textiles, as in it was a very practical lesson for me, and that's where I managed to get my A in GCSEs. All my other GCSEs I got C's and D's, but it was mainly the practical element of my GCSEs that I excelled in, which is why I enjoy reception so much, because it is very much practical based and checking people in, also using the computer, but practically doing things for them. When I left school, I decided had many options to me. I decided to go to be a silver service waiter full-time, and in my part-time to work for a media company. And from working as a silver service waiter I got a lot of money to enable me to fund my sort of part-time work. Working at the BBC was something I really wanted to do at the time. It was interesting. It was something that was a conversational topic amongst my friends. It was practical working in a studio, practical meeting guests. I felt after a while, because I wasn't paid, it was voluntary work, I had to fund myself, and funding myself was working in the hotel. The reason why I disbanded the idea of working in the media is it involved a lot of hours and a lot of travelling in my own time, and it's like a 3 or 4 hour journey to get from where I lived in Birmingham to London, and I felt that it was a short-term career, and I felt that working on reception in hotels was a long-term career goal. And so the turning point would be the financial point, where I sort of basically run out of money to fund my hobby of working in the media. And I ran out of money self-funding myself. My parents got to a point after 2 years of doing it that they said I needed to find a proper job. So it was my parents that sort of pushed me into the sort of the hospitality industry. My general manager has inspired me by enabling me to go onto courses, and to asking me if I wanted to go on courses, and to asking me to give feedback, and to also to hear her story and how she got to where she is today, to be able to gain from her knowledge and her understanding of the industry. In the next 5 years' time, I would see myself as a reception manager for a very small hotel, then moving on, say 2 or 3 years from there, to be an operations manager in a bigger property, to the future, to about 15 years' time, to be a general manager and have overall control of a hotel property. One of my interests outside of work is working for a local newspaper, where I get to go and do different things, be it launch of something new, a new bar or a new theatre production, and I get to review it. So even though several years ago I was dead set in working in the media, several years later I still am in a way, but it's not my full-time job. It's something I do as a hobby, and still enjoy it.